Hello, good evening. Welcome to Unspoken, the podcast. My name is Zadokale Adileye. I'm a business and process consultant, and I'm here this evening to talk to you about the loneliness epidemic. And I've got my team with me here. I've got the Shino. Yeah, start.
Good evening there. My name is Shino. I'm a branch strategist here in Ibadan and Lagos.
My name is Tejiri Joanna Tialubi, and I am a former educationist, now an entrepreneur and a content creator.
My name is Oyetunji Tunolo Ezekiel. I'm an IT consultant. I design websites.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I don't understand, but a whole lot is happening where you find that men, our show is always about men, but we usually like our beautiful lady here to always give us a different perspective on how women actually see us as men. Now we're concerned with a whole lot of men who find themselves in the midst of people. Some even find themselves in gatherings, in workplaces. They find themselves at home in the middle of people, but they still end up being lonely. Now, it's weird that you could be in the middle of, you can be bantering with people and you're still lonely. To me, it's weird, but I just feel, in such a case, what will a man do? What should a man do when he finds out that though he spends time with people, he still finds himself lonely? Itunu, can you start for us?
Well, thank you for this very nice topic, because I've not experienced it, but I know people that have actually experienced it, and I believe that loneliness is a symptom, and there is a root cause of loneliness. Okay. The root cause might be probably language barrier, changing environment, or probably a disconnection from your family, grief or loss. So those are kind of the root cause for loneliness. So speaking about loneliness, we need to know what the root cause is before actually treating the symptoms. So I believe that for a man to be in the midst of his friends and not being able to express himself properly, he should check the kind of friends he has. And because the kind of friends you have should be able to observe because there are some personal issues that we all go through that we need to as friends. At least one of your friends should be able to ask you what's going on in your life. So you should be able to open up to that person, being able to ask you those kind of questions and being able to answer them. So if you're amongst your friends and you cannot express what you're going through, I think you need to check your circle of friends.
Cheerleader, yeah.
Well, I think I like this perspective, and that means you have to know the root cause before you can prefer solution. So like you rightly said, but in this context of the Unspoken program and focusing on men,
yeah.
I think the problem has to do with cultural, traditional, we have this culture where men are not allowed to speak. We have this culture where men are told to focus on productivity and finances, being the provider, and they prioritize those over personal relationships. There is the place of you working, hustling, and there is also the place of personal relationship. So you're told to not express vulnerability, don't express emotion, don't be the soft person, and then you're also told to have this aggressive outlook to handling things. These things can cause isolation. If you're the aggressive type as a man, people will tend to want to shift back from you. So even when you initiate relationship, people will tend to pull back, and that can lead to isolation. When you're told not to express emotions, that can also lead to isolation because you find yourself easily overwhelmed, and that is where sometimes it can lead to health complications. You can have high blood pressure. So like you rightly said, these things can be caused by different factors. Sometimes it can be emotional factors. When people find themselves unable to make lasting relationship, they begin to be worried. Am I the problem? And then they go alone. No, nobody likes me. Inferiority complex sets in. Sometimes it can be economic. I've not been able to make money as a man. I can't pay my rent. So it makes them to be isolated. So these things have different factors, and when you're able to identify the factors, I think solution will not be far-fetched.
Okay, thank you. Sure.
You can see that the way they've been saying everything, I've been trying to just figure out what can I bring out of it, what can I bring out of it. You need to be strategic about getting facts about what is wrong with you. Isolation, everybody, I don't think there's anybody that does not have one or two more problems going around them. As a man, I feel number one thing you need to know is know yourself, know your environment.
Yep.
By that, you will be able to figure out what exactly is in my environment.
Okay.
Everybody is isolated, I won't lie to you. But you yourself, you will decide, no, I cannot be in this thing. Let me push myself out. Do you get it? There is no man on this earth that is not facing one or two. So the isolation is defined by who you are and the environment you find yourself. Your environment, what is attached to the environment are the kind of people you go out with, the kind of place you sleep, the kind of woman or the kind of wife you have, the kind of siblings you have. All those things, they are all in the cycle of the environment that you are, that can define the kind of isolation you can face.
All right.
Do you understand? So from there, you can be able to now say, yes, let me define it. Okay, it is the marital life that is giving me isolation. How do I sort it out? You know, it is the friends that I go around, the friend cycle that I find myself. They don't like me. Or it is you yourself. If you now say, everybody does not like me, no. Why is it that you are the only person that everybody does not like? Then you need to check yourself. So by that, you can be able to define whether you are the problem or anybody is the problem.
Well, but the thing is this now. Okay, like a popular comedian, American comedian said, he said, the only people that are being loved without condition are women, children, and dogs in that order. The man is like the fourth or the fifth. You know the reason why? Because of culture. Now, there are some cultural norms where it is, like you rightly said, a man is seen as a provider. Now, these cultures actually make men start to become stoic, right? A man has to do this, a man has to do that. And then you would say isolation comes with that also. But now, looking at this, yes, we've identified certain things. It could be the culture, it could be your circle. You might need to change your circle. Or it could be the marriage you're in. It could be that your job. It could be that your job is toxic. It could be, you could find yourself in different places, right? But now, going back to it, how do we rewrite those norms, those traditions? How do we need to, because if we identify these as being wrong, so how do we rewrite them? So I don't know who wants to go first. How do we rewrite them?
Okay. Number one thing is, let me cite an example of you have headache. The first thing you do is try to know whether it's headache or it's something that's causing the headache. So identifying the problem, number one, is the first solution to any problem. Okay. Do you get it?
Yeah.
You will first identify whether, okay, am I the one that is not doing well, that everybody feels they can't talk to you. They can't, if they tell you you are wrong, you explode. So they will feeling so insecure to just talk to you. So you'll be doing it and everybody will pushing away, little by little. So by that, in your mind, you'll be feeling, sorry, these people, they don't like me. What did I do? What did I do? Am I smelling?
Nobody invite you to party.
Do you get it? Most of them, they will be going out. You see them going out. They will exempt you. You like, what's going on?
They'll post on status.
Do you get it? So you feel that thing alone can be mental torture. You must identify. See, number one solution is identifying it. After identifying it, now sit down. Be realistic to yourself.
Yeah, being brutally honest.
You need to everybody. There's one thing that we always want to do. Everybody wants somebody to pity.
Yes.
I told Mr. Zadok that I'm financially incapable of doing some things. Mr. Zadok must be able to show me love now. Send me 50K, send me 30K. No, but Mr. Zadok is thinking, this guy, if I even give you 50K, you will come back next tomorrow to come and beg for another 50K. Number one thing is, where is the problem? You are financially unstable because of some things. Tackle the problem first. So you still come down to that same problem if they are trying to just feel, if you feel they need to just help you.
So what you're basically saying is we should always do a self-audit.
Definitely. Definitely. You must be brutal to yourself, like my brother said. You must always want to beat yourself with the cane. Yes, now.
I think what he's trying to say is that can the society rewrite the rule to make the man feel safe?
Okay.
We are the society. You are the society. He is the society. I am the society. So if we're waiting for a miracle to come,
We are always
it's not
looking,
going to come.
we are always looking for, like
It has to
someone.
start inward, like he said. It has to start inward,
Yeah.
okay? So for me now, what do I do? The men in my circle, how do I make them feel better? I have to be a safe environment for them. When they come to me with their issues, I can banter with them, but I have to be very careful that my banter shouldn't rub off on the wrong side.
Sure.
Do you get? So that they won't regret, oh, if I had known, I wouldn't have told her this. You understand? I will be a safe space for them, right? But that does not mean that I would allow them to use that to manipulate me, because these things can go south, you know, if you're not careful. So once they see that you're an empathetic person, you're a sympathetic person, you have a good listening ear, they will begin to take advantage of that. Okay? So we have to be careful, create boundaries that will safeguard you too, so that you will not be used, you know, and you feel bad. Oh, I think I was foolish and all of that. But you be a safe space, you be a safe space, you be a safe space. And also the person going through isolation, do that inward review. What can I do to get myself out of this isolation? You look for a safe space. Now, when you're looking for a safe space, you don't just, maybe I'm going through a problem that is very sensitive. Maybe it involves a very serious issue, maybe marital issue. I've not tested you on small issues. I can't just come to you with a big issue like that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So this has to be a gradual process where you just throw these small issues, you know, with your person, and then you discuss and watch the person over time. Is this person reacting based on what I have said? Maybe you had a bad day and you were at fault and you needed somebody to give you an objective review, and then you talk to the person and he gives you. Any other day, will he use that against you to say, oh, that was what you did the other day, I think you're a very bad person. You understand? So you don't just, people just go with the big issue. You don't know that person. You don't know the person's personality. You don't know if the person is a loudmouth, you know, a microphone. That the moment you turn,
You amplify.
everything, you know, or you see your pastor, he looks so good on the mic, on the pulpit, and then, you know, you just make the mistake of confiding in him, and then the next Sunday.
Which is your matter. Your matter is on the altar.
So you test with, you know, that's how you test to know who is your safe space. So you don't go to meet anybody that at the end of the day will hurt you, and then you go back and say, I said it, I regret even doing it. And that will be much more traumatic than even the situation where you are.
Yeah, well, I read the saying, it goes by, you are not the only one who has ever felt rejected and loved and lonely at some time. Reach out and help someone else in trouble, and you could be amazed the changes in your own life. So like she rightly said, she said, you be a safe space for another person. When you're trying to solve other people's problem, you tend to find like solutions even in that, when you try to solve other people's problems. So like she mentioned, like being a safe space for other people. Now she mentioned getting, telling people about a little problem so that you can test how they handle bigger ones. So how do we then because I believe you can't just be talking to different people. So that's where you need to go out more. You need to step out more. You need to make effort, like he said.
But for introverts, there are some people that see DJ Pillow is their best friend. You don't understand.
Yes.
Like the DJ Pillow is doing chicky. They don't want to step out. You know, for some of us, I could be invited to a whole lot of parties. I have nowhere I'm going to. I will be in my house and you'll be calling. I will tell you, Ade come, Ade road. I don't think go anywhere.
Sorry.
So what happens in that kind of, if that person is my kind of person, just feels I'm not an outing kind of person.
Well, I would say you have to make effort.
Good.
You have to make effort. Because you can't be bent on the fact that you're an introverted person. You have to make effort. If you know you want to get this problem solved, you need to make effort. So that's just the basic thing I have to say about that.
I feel something. Maybe out of experience, I've learned that it's not everybody you tell your problem. Number one person you tell your problem is you. That's why I said you need to meet yourself first.
Yes.
Meeting yourself first is analyzing the problem, where it starts from. And there's nobody on this earth that does not know where his problem starts from. But we always fail to accept it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I did a wrong business. Before you started the business, you know definitely that you don't know the business. So you know where the fault is, but you are trying to say it's not the business. It's one family member that is doing it, that is sending this to me. It's my people that are behind it, that we are doing competition together on the road or something. No. After identifying it, people, I've tried to notice that when you tell more of your problem out, people tend to move back from you. Because everybody's going through one thing or the other that they are keeping inside of them. So if you come today, you say, something happened to me. You come tomorrow, something happened to me. The next time you will come, you say, now you be the only person who did this world.
I don't want to.
2 years.
I think it depends on the person that is involved. That is why I say you have to test. Okay, it has to be the person involved. You would have known. I think we all have this level of discernment.
Yeah.
You will know if this person is a cool person.
But with the level now with social media, so you have a whole lot of people hide behind their keypads, and then with a whole lot of anonymous messages here and there. Do you think social media has contributed to more of the isolation? Because a whole lot of people would just rather sit back and be keypad warriors than go out and meet real life people. Or how? Because for me as a person, I feel we should strike a balance between social media and meeting physical people.
Yeah.
Because on social media, anybody can say anything. But when you meet people, when you make direct connections, you understand, I think you feel better. I think when you go out to interact with nature, I think it's therapeutic on its own. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. What's your own view, per se? Because, yeah, for someone who really is not that person, who just wants to just stay neutral, what would you advise?
Well, social media, like they said, has made people less social.
Yes.
So, like I said, you have to make efforts in going out more. I was listening to, because when I heard about the topic, I started making some research, and I started listening to some other podcasts that they've done something like this. So I was listening to one, and he mentioned that you need to just talk to people make sure you talk to people every week, even if at least one new person every week. And it doesn't have to be that only in the church, or maybe only in the mosque, or only in the house.
And it doesn't have to be deep conversation.
It doesn't have to be just on the surface, basic conversation. How are you? How are you doing? What do you do? From there, you can.
Are you sure
create
some people
connection.
can even start conversations these days? Because they are used to, hi.
My own view about some things is, like I said before, I said, it's not everybody you tell your problem.
Yes.
Yes. Before I said that, I said, see, choosing people around you is key.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before you talk to anybody, you definitely know the kind of people that you surround yourself with.
Yes.
You know your environment. So, not talking to everybody does not mean you should not talk to people.
Yeah.
There's one thing I do more. I'm saying this from experience. I've had a series of issues, financial and some other things, and it has given me this mentality that everybody has problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing you can do for yourself is struggle. Like you said, go out, meet people. I go out every day. There's no day I don't go out. I make sure I smile every day. I find something that will put a smile on me.
Make yourself happy.
That's number one thing. From there, that's where solution will come.
Yes, self-love.
You can never be in an isolated place and feel there will be a solution to your problem.
While you are interacting with DJ Pino.
You are talking to God. You are talking to God. God will never come down from heaven to say, oh yeah, take this 1 million naira. Go and buy yourself a car. No. God will now tell you that, yesterday I sent someone to you. But because of who you are, you send the person away. So what else do I do?
I think you're talking more on the finance part.
No, I'm not even talking. I'm talking on, see, the finance part is just like an example of all.
Yes.
Even while you are going through anything, go out. You share experience. There was a time I was trying to fix something, and this thing is not even financial. I had money to just fix it, but I could not get it right. So now I went to my normal joint that I always sit down, and I was talking to some people, and there are big men there. And I said something. Unknowingly, a man was going through that same thing. The man just said it. And from what he said, I picked the solution to my own problem. And I struck it.
Exactly.
Now imagine if I was not going out, if I was not mixing with these people, how do I get the solution? Solution will never come from anywhere. It will come from the people you relate to.
That's what I was going to
There
say.
was a time I called some of my friends in school. I said, guys, I'm going through this. The person laughed. Yeah, everybody's going through it. Come in. Let's go and sit down and talk somewhere. And immediately that problem it looks so light. It looks lighter on me. Like
Yeah, it's your rubber duck. We use this analogy in coding. When you're coding and you get stuck, you're always advised to leave, like just leave that space, and then maybe talk to your family, free your mind. There's this rubber duck analogy, maybe like a toy. You're talking to the rubber duck is an object. It's not living. It doesn't reply you, but you're talking to it. You are having a conversation with something that cannot talk back to you. But in that state, you are releasing a tension as you're talking to the rubber duck. And you're dropping the burden. You don't know, like the way the universe works. I can't really explain it, but solutions come just like that while talking to an object that cannot even reply you. For people that cannot talk to people, and I don't know if that works in this context, but as a coder, that's the context that helps.
I think one of the things that people should note about social media is that it creates this illusion of togetherness, of this close circle.
Mob connectivity.
But this connection we make, it's not as deep and authentic as one-on-one connection.
True.
So that is why it is advisable for you not to totally replace one-on-one connection or one-on-one relationship with social media, right? Now, the social media, you can have people posting pictures, videos. Some of these are make-believe, right? And then you sit back with DJ Pillow.
Why? The way me I use it.
Intention that somebody was going to borrow Lamborghini or what?
Have you been on LinkedIn? LinkedIn, the way people post what they do with their lives on LinkedIn, it makes you feel like you lack purpose. Yeah.
And then if you don't talk to somebody who is in your age grade, who is telling you, bro, take it easy, a day at a time, you feel intimidated, and it worsens your isolation. While you're thinking you're being social or you're everywhere, seeing everything, the information you're taking in is contributing more to your isolation because you keep seeing yourself as inferior to other people.
Yeah.
You know, I watched a video of one Nigerian that was arrested in Dubai, I think for drug-related issue and fraud. You know, this guy would come up on TikTok and say, if you know you are a man,
You don't drive a Lamborghini or a Porsche.
my
You are
God.
not. They are two brothers. They are brothers actually.
Brothers.
They are mixed Nigerian. Yeah, they had Nigerian father.
people were actually intimidated and they felt bad.
Guy was posting the road. If you're seeing Porsche today, Lamborghini tomorrow, Rolls Royce. Even
Girls were all over the comments.
Hey!
They were going mad. You know? I cannot see something like that because I do not understand the process it took you to get
get there.
So I cannot envy a result that I do not recognize the process.
process,
Tell me the process and I'll know if it fits in with my own goals,
purpose,
my
yeah.
purpose, and I'll be able to key into it. I cannot see somebody coming to post Range Rover. You know, there is this business lady, you know, recently that posted Cybertruck, yes, you know, and everywhere went Gaga and all of that. While I appreciate it, yes, in Lagos, I appreciate it so much. But you know, it took her a long time for her to get to where she is now, and she started a long time ago. When am I starting my own also? I was a secondary school teacher, you know, without much.
Well, I was telling him today that I saw my dream car. I showed him in powder blue. It's a Rolls Royce Botail. And then we checked the price and then we came back to reality. Because the car is $28 million.
But if you don't come back to reality and you keep going to social media and you keep seeing that, it could lead you to depression and isolation.
That's
why we must be careful.
We have to be.
Maybe me, I see it in two ways though. I see it
It can
as a
motivate.
motivation, and number two, that's what, you see. I always tell people one thing. It was my dad that said, he said, "Man, know thyself.
Yes.
Knowing yourself is know your capability."
Yes.
I'm a tailor.
Socrates also said
Yeah,
that.
I'm a tailor. You want to buy, you as a tailor, you know, yes, what you are sewing. You're sewing clothes of, let's say, 35 to 20,000 naira, and you are dreaming of a Rolls Royce or something. Bro, I will tell you, I will advise you. Bro, if you cannot upgrade your business,
Yes.
make the business.
You want to match up with that. You want to match up with that.
How about these?
No.
You
Don't
want to
try
match
to
up
do it.
with that.
Don't try and do it.
How about the aspire to perspire people that tells you that if your dream does not scare you, you don't dream big. You have not dreamt big enough.
No, but I think that is true.
Guys,
As
hold on in this, yeah. We'll go on a break, and then after the break, yeah, you can now come for this, right? All right, guys, we'll go on a break. Join us shortly while we come from break. Welcome back. Right, so guys, let's continue from where we stopped the other time, yeah?
Okay.
Yes, you were talking about the tailor who wants to drive.
Yes. Do you know one thing? There's no reason why you can't do that. You can do it, but you must follow a process. The process is, yes, how do you do it? Ask, read. You need to invest in some things. If you cannot, if you don't have people to invest money in your business, they don't invest in number one, quality. That's what you sell. You must first sell the quality of what they can buy. You are telling me a cloth is worth 100,000 naira, but tomorrow I wash the cloth, cost goes off.
That's the fastest
That's
way to
number one, to just say, yes, this guy, we are not in the game, we are not in the league. So all these big tailors that you see today, they invested in people. They invested in their own craft first. Knowing that, yes, I can. If I sell this thing for 1 million naira, people can say, no, this thing is more than 1 million. It's worth it. Do you get it? So social media at times, if you want to see it in a negative way, you see it in a negative way.
Yeah,
if you want to pick it from the positive way.
So from what you're saying now, because my next question is, from what you're saying invest in your craft, invest in networks.
Yes.
Okay, now, how can men create meaningful friendships, networks?
Number one, networks. Number two, see, there's no, I know I will not stick on.
How can we create those? No, yes, you've told us networks. How?
Okay.
Meaningful, that's the key word.
A meaningful network.
Yeah, and friendships. We don't want anyhow friendship.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say add value in yourself.
Yes.
Like, once you are a valuable person, you start going to valuable places. The way you value yourself really matters. If you don't see yourself as a valuable person, you then start meeting yourself in places where you shouldn't be. So if you value yourself, you value your circle, you value the places you go to, you value the food you eat, you value the things you take into your system, into your body system. You value everything about yourself. Then you start meeting people of like minds. Because once you start meeting people of like minds, you start going to valuable places, maybe conferences, you start going to churches where they align with your values, your value system. You start meeting people maybe at the gym or in the community. They start seeing value in you. You don't chase it. it comes to you. So once you add value to other people and they see the value in you first, they will definitely come.
But the places you are mentioning, if I don't have money for gym, Nko,
Well, your
I
community,
don't have money to go to a conference.
your community is there. You can volunteer in your community. You can volunteer in your community. There are community volunteering you can do. Maybe we're in my area now. I was told to come and join the landlord association. I'm too young for that. I did not join. But if I needed a place to
how do you
share-
add value to them there? Since you refuse to join the association.
Because I'm adding value to some other places, and it's not about me right now. It's just about men that
No, because there might be other men too who possibly in your situation.
No, like he said, you know your association and you know where you can fit in.
Okay.
Don't go where you know you will not be welcome or where you will not be free, where you will not be able to flow. So if you know that your age, the age grade will not favor you in a particular association, go where you know you'll be comfortable.
Okay, so you should avoid places that might stifle your growth.
Exactly.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, for me, I think, we've said over and over, you have to make a personal decision to want to come out of that, that isolation and make meaningful relationship. Now, what do we mean by meaningful relationship? While I was growing up, I was a very strong introvert. I mean, a very strong introvert. So people don't believe it now. Well, like you said, you have to first of all add value to yourself. Where I started adding value to myself, it was actually an unconscious process, but it was out of my passion for excellence and competency. I was working as a teacher in a secondary school, and I was the English teacher, so I was in charge of press club and all of that. And being a creative person, I've always been creative. So I would tell the children, come, let's do mock news and all of that. And they'll be afraid to get in front of the camera. And so I would just, let me lead by example, and I started doing all of that. I didn't know that someday I'm going to come, face the camera. And when I was even going to start, I was very afraid, but I just had to muster that courage. I was a very strong introvert. I don't know how to make one-on-one conversations. And people will see me and say, oh, I want to be like you. I'm like, do you know where I'm coming from? So you have to, first of all, like I said, create value for yourself. Know your limitations and begin to work on them. Oh, I don't know how to talk. Then wake up every morning, go to the mirror, begin to talk. Or carry your phone, record yourself, and you begin to talk. Imagine that you are this very good person, you're speaking, you're on your popular show, and then you need to work on yourself. If you have a weight-related issue, like I said, if you don't have money for gym, start jogging on the road in your street. You'll see people like you who don't have money for the gym. You guys will be from hi, good morning. You guys will begin to exchange pleasantry. You can see, sometimes you just have to take a stroll in the evening. You see somebody that will say, oh, hi, good afternoon, how are you doing? I tell people, don't keep your best clothes in the wardrobe. That era is gone. Be your best every time. I'm telling you.
Every day is
it could be
every day
that
is
it
your
is
good
your
day.
outfit that will tell someone, oh, I like your outfit.
Yeah.
And that compliment will go along with booster up your courage, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, shame in here. Even for men who pretend that they don't like compliments, not lie. Just give them that compliment. You'll be surprised.
True.
So sometimes it's not about a savior coming to bring you out of that introverted nature. It is you coming up. And then sometimes even before you discover that this person is a meaningful friend, you would have had several bad experiences. Don't let that discourage you, right? So when you make a friend and you see that this friend is not good in this area, talks too much and everything, know how to manage the person and move on to another person. So for me, I have friends now for different purposes. So you could be my friend for banter. You could be my friend for spiritual, praying and stuff. You could be my friend for let's go out, safe fun. So you have different friends for different reasons. That way you'll be safe. So if you have a fallout with this friend, you can fall back to
200%.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, but in finding, I just want to cite an example. If we haven't had a conversation before, or you haven't seen, had conversation with, maybe, for inviting us here, you wouldn't have invited some of us here to come and talk. So it is in the value you see in people that makes you say, okay, I think this person is useful for this. Let me approach them and talk to them about this. And one way or the other, you're communicating with them.
Yeah, you're correct.
I think I have two examples to buttress what you guys have said. There's one, I have my brother, he will say something, see, number one thing you need to sell is value. That's your selling point. Anybody's selling point. As a business person, as a creative person, is value. They are into videography. The first time they will go and preach their videography skills to somebody, they never learned it from anywhere. It was a personal thing they decided to do because we do magazines. So from there, they started doing it, and they went to a man that, sir, you want to have a party? Okay, we can do a video shoot for you for free. For free. Just give us money to just come and do it for logistics. Just give us logistics.
Volunteering.
So
Yeah.
come do it. And they did it. And they sent it to him. The man said, he showed his friend, said, the friend now asked him, how much did you pay for this thing? He said, I paid 3 million naira. He never paid anything. From there, he said, tell those guys that I'm having this thing. Now went to my brother and said, see, this person I told you gave 3 million naira. So know how much you pay. From there, now I can tell you where they are. They are one of the top videographers. That's number one. Number two now is, I had this boss. He said one day, guys, let's go out. And we checked our pockets. He said, I have 1,000. You have 2,000. You have 3,000. We have 4. We're going to drink and do merry outside. He said, don't worry. He said, okay, let's go to, is it not Protea Hotel? There's a big hotel in Mende, there, Maryland. He said, we said we have 5,000 and he said 4 of us should go to this hotel. For what? He said, don't worry. We got there, we got one bottle, 325. He said, see, this bottle, we'll drink it for 2 hours. I said, 2 hours, wow. Later he now said it, see, he said, when you want to do some things, give yourself value. That was even the things that you drink, value it. Let it be valued. Once you go out to where people are, don't because you have 1,000 naira. I must drink 5 bottles. Let me go to Yasekira to go and drink 5 bottles there. No. You can go to a place, drink 1 bottle, and be creative about it. And let you get, and that thing alone will corner something back to you.
Thank you, Sharon. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, guys. Yes, so all we've said now, yes, making meaningful connections, doing a self-audit. Now, the next place I'm moving to is, sometimes people see vulnerability as weakness. And, maybe that's why men are actually afraid. Maybe that's why they are lonely. Because it's like, I would rather keep this to my chest. I don't want to say this so that someone doesn't get to use this to hurt me later. It's worse when you tell somebody something and then they use that same pain point of yours. Like, that's why you are the way you are. If only you had sense, you wouldn't be in this place. So now you have those issues where those kind of men will decide not to be vulnerable. So how do we help these men break the silence? They should be able to talk to someone. But how do we talk to someone without having the fear of repercussion? So that they don't keep things bottled up and then people see them as being soft. How can men speak out without a backlash?
I think let me go first. I think one of the things we should learn is to be able to handle rejection and no. Once you're able to handle rejection, you'd get over the fear of being vulnerable. That's one. If you're also able to take no, maybe I meet Shina and I ask him, could you borrow me 100,000 naira? And he says no. I don't work money for in pockets. I don't have I'm not entitled to it. So if he says no, that means no. And it doesn't mean that he is a bad person, and it doesn't mean that it has to stop our friendship,
right? But in delivering the note, too, you have to be sensitive. Oh, I've got some things that I've put in money for, and I don't have any money right on me. Okay, I would have loved to help you, right? Not know in a mockery way that will make the person feel, oh, I shouldn't have asked him. Do you understand? So it's a two-way thing. You should make the move, but while making the move, have at the back of your mind that this person could say no. This person could potentially be a bad person. Another thing is, when we're talking about social media the other time, it occurred to me, a lot of people now use ChatGPT as their friends.
Yes.
It could become awkward because you could lose how to interact in real life. Because ChatGPT does not have emotions. It's trained to be, clinical, just precise like that. Humans are having different emotions. For example, his response to me when he's very happy will be quite different from the way he will respond to me when he's sad or angry. So those are the things you need to take note of on when you have one-on-one, interaction. So for you to get over the fear of being vulnerable, you have to work on your mindset first of all. We've been coming back to that same point. Yeah. You have to add value to yourself. You have to work on yourself. Be brutally honest with yourself. Okay, have at the back of your mind that this person I'm talking to is not Jesus Christ. He's not El Shaddai. He's not going to fix everything. But sometimes just listening to someone telling you it's going to be okay, you'll get over it. So when I approach people with my problem, I don't go with the mindset of you're going to help me solve it. Sometimes it could be just that mindset shift that I want. It could be that in my emotions, I'm fixed on a particular angle, a perspective, and then somebody listens to it and says, oh, have you tried this? He didn't give me money, but he's helped me to solve that problem. Like the example you mentioned, just discussing your issue with someone who had similar experience, you were able to get a solution for it. So sometimes it might not be somebody who would want to give you something. I think that's where the problem is. We have this entitlement mentality in Africa and Nigeria. So when I'm having a problem, for example, if I'm a man, I'm unable to pay my children's tuition fee, and I see that you just uploaded on your status that you've got a Benz, you've got a Range Rover, and you're doing praise the Lord, The next thing is I want to send, a message.
DM you.
Do you understand? And when you say, and I don't know if that car you bought is on payment in installments. I don't know if it's a gift from someone to you. Because you're not going to come to social media and say, I got this as a gift. We all sell our best. So you have to work on yourself first. And then, like we also said before, study the people you want to be vulnerable with before you go ahead and be vulnerable with them. And you yourself too. Are you a safe space? Because this thing is rub my back.
I rub your back.
So if I talk to you and you're a safe space for me, of course, when you talk to me, I'll also be a safe space for you. But when I talk to you and I hear this, my guy call me and say, that guy when you go tell Jason, the day you call me self, I go last. So the cycle keeps going on and on. Okay, so I think.
Well, vulnerability for any, I'm sure I'm the only single person here. So I believe we have only been talking about this. Sure.
Unless, yeah.
We'll be talking about finances. Cause I'm thinking in the aspect of the married people about there was this sermon I was listening to. The man said, before marriage, we asked you not to have sex. Mm-hmm. During marriage, we are begging you to have sex. Now, who do you talk to in that sense? Because now we are talking about vulnerability. Now you can't be, because of the issue between you and your wife or between you and your girlfriend, you can't be vulnerable to her because she's not, you are both having the problems together. So now you need to have a third party, a third party to talk to. So I feel like solutions to that, I can't be too sure about the solution, but I feel spirituality, for me, in my opinion, spirituality. No one is coming to save you, like the general saying, no one is coming to save you, you have to save yourself. But who is going to save you? I believe it's God. Mm-hmm. I believe it's God. That's the only person you can be vulnerable to.
100%.
100%, and you won't have the fear of it lashing back at you or having a repercussion. That's the only person. I don't mean the Christian God, the one you believe in, the God you believe in. But for me, it's a Christian God, the God that I believe in, to say, okay, God, I am here. I am vulnerable in this aspect, Help me, show me direction. If it is purpose, I lack purpose in this, show me direction. I lack purpose in my relationship, show me direction. I lack purpose in my career, show me direction. So, and you cannot just have that conversation with God without having a deep relationship with God. There has to be a deep relationship with God, because people just wake up in the morning, God, I thank you, so, I'm going through this, please help me. And you think God will just answer. I don't think if I talk to you that way, you'd even want to, you'd be like, this guy is not serious. Why are you talking to me? Like, I just come to you, hey, so, I'm going through this, will you help me? And be like, do I know you? We don't even talk before. How do you want me to help you? So we need to build that deep relationship with God.
So we need to be deliberate.
Deliberate in our relationship with our Maker, with our Creator, because that's the only person you can be vulnerable to without any backlash. So that's what
I agree with you. But again, you can be close to God and still have problem with vulnerability. Let me give you a scenario. I was on social media, I think yesterday or so, and it was just this conversation, and then the lady was saying, if you have a man that is pulling back from you, girls pull back, Gen Z bodies, girls pull back, and why some people can do it from a place of manipulation. Like they want to play games. I want her to, throw breadcrumbs that I want her to like me and all of that. If the person is going through an issue and is feeling overwhelmed, and it is not the regular pattern, it's a different thing. You can give a little space. And then, guy, what's up? You check up on the person. Do you understand? But if it's becoming a regular, pattern, that person has to work on himself. You can be praying to God. It doesn't remove your own responsibility. What you have to do, to communicate. Relationship, one key thing about relationship is communication. Compatibility. If you're in a relationship and you cannot communicate with your partner, there is a bigger problem at play there.
I think there's something we keep missing out and something I keep pushing, and I think it should even be a curriculum for everybody. Emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Know what to say, when to say, know how to read
the room.
Because sometimes, things that happen to people and they react to us, it's not of our own making. But we take it personal because we think we've triggered people or something might have happened from our own point of view. And sometimes they just don't even have problem with you. Like you said, they are just probably overwhelmed.
What do you do in that situation? When you're overwhelmed and you have reacted or overreacted, what do you do?
Well, for me as a person, what I do a self-audit every night. I do a self-audit every night. And sometimes when I sit down, like you said, I sit down and I talk to myself in the third person. So I sit down, sometimes I just switch off everywhere, I play some jazz, and then I'm like, Zadok, are you all right? So we did this, this happened. Now, do you also know that this that happened can also be read this other way? I try to see all the angles, and then if I felt somebody was offended by my action, you see me just pick up my phone. Hello, Alpha.
But you see what most men try to do? We call it in Yoruba, Ogboju. And that is where the hurt comes in. And that is where you see people pull back away from them.
Me, I don't call it Ogboju.
What do you call it?
I call it ego.
Ego, yes. That's another word for it, yes.
And you see, to be sincere to yourself. Every man has ego.
Yes.
A woman has ego, but the ego of a man is always superior over the woman because he believes he's the head of the house. He believes he's
but this
man.
ego can be more massive in some people than others.
Do you know one thing? Ladies, I can blame guys too. I can blame men. Men too, you always forget that these ladies that you are dealing with, they don't have the capacity that you have. There are levels they can manage your own ego.
I think we are more logical and they are more emotional.
That is it.
And
so you need to have that.
Finding a balance is critical.
But see,
I think the key root is communication.
There's one thing I will still say.
All right. Guys, I'm sure if I leave you, we'll continue with this topic. Now, so as we wind up this particular topic, don't worry, next time we'll expand on it. So as we wind up on this now, I need you to give me one line, give me a parting shot, what you think men can do, you know. Yes, we've spoken a lot about a whole lot of things to this man. Now, we've advised they should go out, so I just need one line of advice from you.
Yeah. All I will always tell a man, every man, is be happy and do things that makes you happy that will not affect others negatively.
All right?
Okay, for me, I would always, I would tell the men to, first of all, love yourself. You know, when you love yourself, you'd become comfortable with yourself, and then make meaningful friendship, work on yourself, you know, develop value for yourself, you know, and then for the women, try and be a safe space too, right?
We need that. We need that. Yeah.
Well, I'll go back to my previous saying that says, if you're not the only one who has ever felt being rejected, loved, and lonely at some time, reach out and help someone else in trouble, and you could be amazed the change you find in your life. So be a safe space, like we've said, and be brutally honest with yourself. And also go out more, chill, enjoy yourself, have a nice time, and you'll be good.
I don't joke with that.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful session with everyone. I've totally enjoyed it. I'm sure you at home, you've enjoyed it. And that's why I want you to also stick with us next time on Dominion TV when we bring you another interesting topic. But I'm so glad. I think I've learned a whole lot. Even though I'm a host, I've learned a whole lot. And I feel you have to. So join us next time on Dominion TV as we come your way to at least enlighten you, cheer you up, and you can also learn from us too. Have a wonderful evening.